Do you know? Authentic learning actually started from medical school, not business school. Hi, I'm Associate Professor Linda Wee from Nanyang Business School. I've been with the school since 2010 and I teach retailing, but as in all industry, we need to pivot. And today I teach value creation. I came to know about NTU when I was in the industry. I was a senior vice president at CapitaLand. We engage NTU professors a lot because we do business in China. And through that relationship, I realized that there's something that I can bring to NTU, and that is to bring the industry to our students. My understanding of authentic learning is that whatever the student is learning, the outcome or the context of learning must mirror what they will encounter in their next phase. Now, when you do that, the student finds relevance in what you're saying, and we always focus on transfer of learning back to the workplace. To simplify it, it's made up of 3 components. The context of learning, the situation, then of course the process of learning, and finally the outcome of learning. Now at level 1, the context of learning could be a classroom where you do a lot of talking. The process is students are a bit passive, they just listen to you, and the outcome is usually that of a quiz or a test. But at level 2, you as a professor can come up with a fictitious project. It can be a little bit more open-ended, it can be more complex, and you don't know the answer. So you can research and you have to argue why this is a better solution. You will find that the process itself has some engagement, problem solving, and the outcome could be a project, an idea that you can use. Now at level 3, this should mirror the business world or the world they are going to get into, whether they go for advanced studies. So the context, if they are going to graduate and join the business world, the context could be a workplace. We involve the industry, and the process is very much the behavior in the business world, where there's no lecture, but you have a problem and you're supposed to discuss, get new information, solve, and the outcome is feedback along the way and solution that the employer can use.
Coming to the actual place and being able to ask the questions we want to know and getting the information we're looking for is just much more useful for us, and it's just a different way of learning that works just as well, in my opinion.
It's interesting, and we're actually solving problems, so it actually stimulates our motivation, our reinforcement, to learn again, and pleasure, of course, and as well retention, because being here, we're maybe going to remember it, although maybe in a lecture, maybe a bit less. So, it's a good thing to be here.
Okay, so if you are convinced, then the next step is who are your students and what are they expected to do in their next step. So instead of going busy with content, I'm busy with what are my students and what they're supposed to do. Once I have clarity with that, I sit down with industry partner and I tell them, hey, you complain that the workforce is poor quality, you complain they turnover, why don't we have this partnership? Let's work together. Tell me what you need my students to be able to do when they graduate, and I'll use that as part of the learning process. Why don't you join me? I think the profile of student has changed. They are widely read, widely traveled, so they come as resource pillar, ever ready to jump into a situation, ever ready to want to talk, analyze, and find out more. But I need to understand who my students are, what they know, because I need to find a project that they can connect. The funny thing, I never had to sell to the students. They are all game and ready for a new learning experience. I do not think our role today is to teach them the A to Z of a content. Because today's students are way smarter, they are supported by technology and friends, they can figure it out. The thing is, how do you make them hungry? How do you make them want to go learn? So if you prioritize the content and know that within 13 weeks, this is what I can do for you and show you that learning is fun, learning is purposeful, learning make you a better person, I believe that you will on your own time figure out the rest. So start with knowing your students, start with knowing what you want them to be, then prioritize, evaluate the content and the learning experiences that will bring them there, including be innovative in the outcome. If I make learning fun, if I make learning purposeful, if I give you feedback regularly, wouldn't you be a better student? Wouldn't you get better grades? I want to train my students to be able to join the industry, hit the ground running, rather than just academic and content. I like to think that my struggles is my students are actually doing better. Yeah. So how do I reflect that as a professor? So I'll call for different assessment policy. I'll be killed, but it's okay. It's true, okay? If I look at my students, because you give them something, you let them talk, and then every week you're with them and they write about you, all too well, no? I mean, even the employer say, wow, the idea's also good. But when I do assessment, I do bell curve. That part is very heartbreaking, okay? Because they all did well, yeah. So I hope they change. Forget the bell curve.